Hi, my name's Kestrel Hawkins. Welcome to my home kitchen. Today I am doing an experimental marshmallow. So what happened was, because I can't have corn syrup, I had golden syrup in my cupboard. I didn't realize how old the golden syrup was. When I went to open it up, there were pieces of metal in my golden syrup. So we're not doing that. Womp womp. Yeah, womp womp. So instead I'm going to make an invert sugar using a simple syrup and a lime, and then I will add the rest of that to my regular sugar syrup. Ooh. So here we go with this. I've got half a cup of water in here. I'm going to add 1 full cup of sugar to that, and I'm going to turn on my handy dandy front porch swing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. So we're going to allow this to dissolve completely. And when you're making a simple syrup, all you need to do is wait for the sugar to dissolve completely. That's all we're doing here. It's not a caramel. It's not a full-blown like sugar syrup like you would use for other things.
We're not making candy.
Not candy yet.
Well, we are making candy.
It is candy, but it's not.
Different kind.
This first step is just the first step. And so.
No hardball.
Yeah, nothing like that. So while that is dissolving, I'm going to squeeze my lime, because in order to make an invert sugar, we need an acid. And this is what I happen to have on hand. So these are going to be what I'm calling my key lime marshmallows.
Look at this cool jar lid.
Yep.
We had a glass reamer, and it
just got chipped,
and I cut my hand on it, and that was not good.
It was time for it to go at that point. You hurt my baby and you go bye-bye. So, yeah. So I'm going to put this in the bowl that I'm going to then add my sugar syrup to in a second. And I'll be right back. So with corn syrup is an invert sugar. And so we are mimicking this by adding acid to our sugar. When you add acid to a sugar syrup, it becomes an invert sugar. And so when you're baking with things like, other things that are invert sugars are things like molasses, corn syrup, things like that. Anytime you're baking with something like that is an invert sugar, you don't have to use baking powder, because there is enough acid in the invert sugar to react with the baking soda, like the bicarb of soda. So we're just going to allow this to become clear. That's all we're doing. It doesn't even necessarily have to boil. Once the granules are clear and dissolved, I will add this to my lime juice and we'll set it aside. And we'll get started on everything else.
Yippee!
Yep. And this is silicone, so I'm not worried about it scorching.
Never use anything plastic.
Yeah, don't use plastic. I remember one time my dad was trying to make fudge, and it was before silicone spatulas were really on the scene. This was like in the 80s. He was trying to make fudge, and he melted a regular rubber spatula.
Ew.
So there is a difference. There is a difference. We didn't end up eating that fudge. He threw it out.
That's really gross.
Yeah, it was. So we are just waiting for this to do its thing.
It's probably dissolved by now.
What do you think, Dee? I don't know, Go-Go. Let's find out. We are waiting for Godot here. All right, there we go. So now I'm just going to pour this into my lime juice. And it is very hot. And I'm going to set this aside. And what I have in this bowl, this is gelatin that I've bloomed. This is 21 grams of gelatin. And that would be 3 packets of Knox gelatin unflavored. I usually just buy a big bag of gelatin, so I had to weigh it, but it's 21 grams because one of the little packets of Knox gelatin is 7 grams. So there you go. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and add this to my KitchenAid bowl. All right, so now I have half a cup of cold water in here, and I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of sugar to that. And we are going to bring this up to 240 degrees. Sugar, honey, honey, you are my marshmallow, and you got me wanting you. We did have a candy thermometer, but it got old and broke.
That sucks.
Yeah. Another thing you can do if you don't want to use citrus to make an invert sugar is you can use cream of tartar. And that will also work. Or even vinegar, but vinegar doesn't taste very good, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that.
Unless you want pickle marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I've got that going, and now I'm just going to add this back in. And this is going to, yeah, we want everything to reach 240 degrees, which should take a few minutes.
Does it need to reduce at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it will, just by nature of getting to that point.
Yeah.
And I think I need a little bit of salt, too.
It's probably good for that.
Yeah, a quarter teaspoon. But I won't add that yet. I'll put the salt in when it goes into the mixer. But yeah, we're just going to allow this to, let's see where we're at now. 71 degrees in my kitchen. So we've got a little way to go. Yeah. Obviously it's going to boil before it hits 240, so we'll know that we're at least partially there when it starts to boil, right?
Yes.
Since boiling is 220. Sugar syrup can actually reach a much higher temperature than boiling, though. All right, let's see where we're at. I'm just going to monitor it anyway, just to be sure. Because we don't want it to burn. Yeah, we got a while. All right, we'll come back in a few minutes.
Okay.
So it's important to keep stirring this as it comes up to temperature, because you don't want any part of it to scorch. I'm going to check the temperature again. All right, we're at 220. So this has just got to go a little bit longer.
Just a little more.
Yeah. But because we use the acid, it also won't crystallize. I wouldn't be going back and forth with a thermometer if I wasn't using an invert sugar. Because any colder piece of metal will start that crystallization chain, and we don't want that. See, we've got some nice clear bubbles. We're fine. 235. Almost there. A little bit longer. So we're almost there. Maybe another minute.
One more degree.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're there.
Yay!
240. All right, so now I'm going to take this off the heat. I'm going to turn this on. Break up the gelatin a little. I'm going to slowly stream this in. You don't want to go too quickly because this is extremely hot. And you don't want to burn yourself.
It's like you're dealing with molten lava
Yes.
that is lime flavored
Mm-hmm.
and clear,
And delicious.
sweet.
The most delicious injury you'll ever sustain, but you still don't want to sustain it. All right, do you know if this is actually getting it?
Yeah. I can see.
All right. So I'll try and get the very last of this in here. Oops. Oops.
No.
That's all right. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to slowly turn it up. Again, we don't want any splashing.
This is very hot.
Very hot, very hot. If you wanted to flavor this with other things, you could. You would just need, you You can't necessarily do it with a liquid though. Like, the reason it works with lime juice is because it was such a small amount of lime juice that you wouldn't want to do something like brewed coffee or things that can burn. So that's something to keep in mind with this kind of recipe. So once I see a good froth going, is it actually showing the froth?
Yes.
I'm going to turn it up a little more. I still don't want to go too far because I can see it hitting the top sides of the bowl. All right. So now I think it's stable enough that I can start to increase the speed on it. And once I get it up to full speed, it's going to go for 15 minutes. All right, we're there. 15 minutes. We'll see ya. All right, so now I'm going to add some vanilla paste to this. This is almost done. It's got about 5 minutes left. A little more, because I like vanilla.
We've chosen to actually only whip it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do one more teaspoon, because I like it, vanilla. I also put a pinch of salt in this, so probably about half a teaspoon of salt went in. My hands are clean. I love vanilla paste.
Vanilla paste is so good.
So we're going to let this go for another couple minutes and then we'll be back. Okay. So this has been whipping for a little under 10 minutes and I think it looks pretty good.
It's so glossy.
So
My
glossy.
goodness.
That's beautiful. And you're going to want to move quickly with this because it sets up very quickly, or it starts to anyway. So get it out of the bowl as fast as you can. I have lined this bowl. I actually oiled it first and then I put confectioner's sugar on the sides and bottom.
You mean the pan?
Yes. Yeah.
The bowl.
The thing that I'm emptying this into, the Anchor Hawking 9x13 pan meant for baking, but can also be used for marshmallows. So this is going to now sit uncovered overnight. And I'm also going to cover this with a little bit more, uncovered by plastic or anything, because you want it to dry out a little bit. And I'm going to cover it with a bit more confectioner's sugar. So, and that's for me to enjoy. All right.
God, it's so good. Oh my God. Wow.
Delightful.
Wow.
Delightful.
Oh, wow.
Indeed. Yes, indeedio. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of lightly sprinkle the top of this.
Dust it.
Just dust it with some confectioner's sugar so that it dries out. And you can slice it.
Yay!
And these are going to be beautiful.
Oh my God, they're going to be so good.
I'm gonna taste it now though. Just, just to be sure. It tastes like really fluffy key lime pie. That's delicious. So, sometimes when you run out of something, it's not a bad thing. Because then you get delicious lime marshmallows.
Or lemon.
Or lemon.
Or orange.
Or orange. Or apple cider vinegar if you choose. I mean, whatever floats your grandma down the stream.
We're ready.
All right, so it's the next day and apparently I have backup dancers. So now I am going to turn this mother out.
Turn this mother out.
Did it come out?
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well, hold on. If you have an offset spatula. All right. It shouldn't have stuck, but sometimes things do. But at least it looks like it's well set up. There we go. Yeah, this is nicely set up. The for some reason it stuck. We're just gonna not worry about it. I also had a little goblin take a corner out of this thing.
Ruby! She forgot.
Okay,
When she
now.
forgot that you were making a video and
One
she'd take a
more
bite.
time, with confidence.
One more time. It's time
Yeah!
to celebrate. Oh,
And now we can just kind of, well, actually it's not too badly coated. So I'm going to just give it some cuts so it cuts nicely. And these are going to be big, because why not?
like big.
And I'm kind of going in like a little bit of a sawing motion as I go through. That way it doesn't get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And these are going to be a little uneven.
They're a little smaller. That's fine.
That's okay.
We can have some variety.
Variety is always the spice of life, right?
Yes.
So I'm just going to take
Sometimes
one.
it's the gelatin of
Actually, I'm going
life.
to take this little guy and just give it a taste.
guy.
And so, let's see. Oh, that's good. The lime really comes through. I was worried that it would be kind of buried in the background because this was a total experiment. So you can do this and it'll taste like lime. So I think if you're going to pick like an acidic ingredient to make your invert sugar, make sure it's something you like the taste of.
Or cream of tartar.
Cream of tartar will work, and then you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Oh, that's good. So yeah, you can cut these into squares, and then you can just like add a little more confectioner sugar to a bag, shake it up. You got a bag of marshmallows, and it's way better than store-bought.
Yippee!
So there you have it. You can make marshmallows without corn syrup. Hope you have an excellent week. Be excellent to each other, and like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Action.
Yeah. Hi. My name's Kestrel Hawkins, and we are just going to allow this to. That shouldn't be there. What is that?
Something.
Just something.
Something.
Just a something. So, hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Everything's okay. No crisis.
Okay. What am I doing?
Making marshmallows. Oh, wait.
Wait, we need to be your mom's backup dancers.